Good evening, humanoid creatures, and welcome to Raging Rolls. I would like to join myself, DM Maddie, usually DM of Mayhem, I suppose, for this fun-filled evening of adventure in a post-apocalyptic, futuristic, dystopian wasteland of my own making. We stream pretty regularly on a Thursday night with our Raging Rolls crew. Our usual DM is DM Juz, who is running a campaign in Icewind Dale, Rime of the Frost Maiden, which is... nail-biting, to say the least. I'm terrified that my past is coming back to haunt me and to meet my unfortunate end. You can find our stream reported on YouTube to go back and watch. We also publish this as a podcast, and we also have a Discord channel if you are interested in joining us socially for chits and chats and recaps and fun things. This evening I have my wonderful cohort of adventurers, and I'm going to give you a bit of an introduction before I'll get you guys to introduce yourselves to each other, as you have never met each other before. It'll be very interesting. We'll see if you guys...
It'll be good times.
It'll be fun. The world, as you know, has long been a desolate, frozen wasteland. Tales of old, now fragmented and only spoken in describe a time where the atmosphere was breathable without a respirator, where a great ball of flaming gas traversed the arc of the sky, and life grew beyond the shelter of the Node City network. All you have known has been a life of eternal dusk, the sky blanketed in ashen cloud, but remnants of the old time remain. Ruined, rusting exoskeletons of long-dead vehicles and jagged, crumbling concrete structures occasionally jut out of the snow, like a desperate arm clawing from the grave. They were the relics only time had remembered, gradually wearing them away, after they had long since been given up on. An incursion heralded the end of the last age. It would be inaccurate to describe it as a war, as there was no hope for the inhabitants of your world. Death was both swift and terrible. Hushed rumors described the comrades who didn't fall in battle to become terribly sick, unrecognizable, and filled with unquenchable bloodlust. You're not sure which of your fortunate ancestors were swept up by the network, but now you live under their protection, out of the radiation, the carbon dioxide soup of atmosphere, away from the mutated creatures of the wasteland, but also at their mercy, as you are a mercenary, paid, and expected to do their bidding. You go where you're needed, do the job that needs to be done, and if you're smart, you won't ask questions. Now, huddled around the warmth of the iridescent orb in your harsh terrain dome, you eye each other warily. The guild often sends you on missions out into the wilderness for this, that, or the other, usually minor contracts. A scum thief who needs to be brought to justice. Murder. To serve as a swift and fierce example that life and actions outside the scope of this network would only be barely tolerated. The network would not aid another outbreak at this time. The ice batters down upon the smooth, opaque surface of your dome. Today's storm is particularly bad. The darkness beyond is transposed to a dark purple hue by the light emanating from your shelter. Over time, the weather systems have become less turbulent as the ichor in the atmosphere has dissipated. Most of the time you have grey skies, and moderately oppressive gloom. The reason you are all sitting here together, waiting out the lashings of the storm, a recon mission. An old piece of tech, a relic from the past, a data pad of journal entries that had been mentioned in passing in the old archives. That is your introduction.
Nice.
I was riveted. I wasn't expecting it to end. That was awesome.
Can we just do a night where we sit and listen to some of your creative writing?
Oh,
your world building.
I skipped over a paragraph because I was like, oh, it's taking too long.
No, it's fine.
So as you sit in your tent dome, there is an orb resting in the middle that you're all sitting around. This is multi-purpose, as is often the case in your world today. Efficiency and economy of space is highly regarded. It brings you warmth, it brings light to the darkness, but it also can be utilized as a UV sterilization light. So your food is currently inside this little...
microwave.
I guess microwave, like a sterilization. And you've got
Would it be a micro ball?
UV
We all
light.
have micro balls.
One of you, I'm not sure which one of you, has this ladle and is stirring it around and then giving it out. Yum!
Yeah,
Sludge!
I've got a little attachment that when I go my hand like that, a little ladle pops out, and I'm currently stirring because I am a warforged, so just stirring it and be like,
Oi, Swiss Army knife, is it done yet?
Hey, be careful or I'll chuck you in it and I'll sterilize you.
The wasteland's done enough sterilizing. Speaking of microballs.
So at present, you guys would be relatively unfamiliar with each other, and I guess that would result in this kind of naturally awkward TV dinner kind of talk between the lot of you. But you do need to figure out your game plan about how you're going to traverse this wasteland, because I don't know if you guys have been out here around about the place, what kind of missions you've been on, but it's set to be dangerous.
Does someone want to pull up the data pad or the thing? What are we doing again? Like, who wrote down notes?
Well, we're trying to find some data pad shit that got lost a long time ago. I am a bit of a knowledgeable person myself. I've read some books and shit, and I probably may have come across something like this in the past. So I could perhaps check
Yeah, you
my brain.
Yeah, you don't usually see many learned rabbits. Like, usually you just catch them and have all 5 of their legs for dinner.
Yes, well, I don't understand why I am a rabbit. It just happened as a part of some kind of mutation in my youth, and now here I am, and it's delightful. It's great.
Wait, you're saying that neither of your parents are rabbits?
No, they were human at some point. I don't think they're stoats now.
What delightful luck! I mean, endless
Judge,
amounts of things that could have happened. A rabbit is clearly fantastic. What's lovely.
But no, I think I got off lightly. Anyway, yes, I could look into my brain and see if I know anything about this tablet and the archive or where it's found.
Yeah.
But
Don't delay. You might as well just hop to it.
So I'd ask you first, what has been your kind of prior experience with your merc work, or in terms of exposure that you've had inside the city? What areas? He's got the advantage that he's played this module before. So,
I don't remember.
no, great, you don't even remember anything. So, in terms of technology that you guys would have kind of been exposed to, think about living on a terrestrial kind of space station. So you have hydroponic labs. You have, think of Star Trek, the food, materializers that they have, that kind of stuff.
Oh, I like the idea of the Back to the Future where they put the mini pizza in the
Yeah,
microwave thing, and then
absolutely. Yeah.
But you carry around the mini pizza, so that when you eat it, it's like you've eaten the whole pizza. So like that bread from Lord of the Rings.
I also kind of imagine the Futurama fruit salad tree as well.
Yeah,
really good for small spaces.
I haven't spent much time there. I spent most of my time in the pleasure districts performing on and off the stage. And I raise a fake eyebrow because I can't actually do that because of the muscles in my face.
You need a magnet or something. I'll allow it if you choose. I'll let you have
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a magnet that I just raise over my head.
Millhouse.
Yeah, I know more of the seedy underbelly of the city than most others, and I mean, we're not here because we are the best of people, but we're trying to make a living like everyone else here. So,
all right, I'll get you to roll me a history check to see if you know anything specifically. How's it? What's your name?
How's it?
How's it going?
History?
Yeah,
sweet.
Plus 12. What?
I don't know.
You're a smart bunny.
And you rolled a 3. That's okay. So he rolled a 3 for a total of 15.
He's definitely Finry related. Those sort of.
I know what's going on there.
It's definitely Finry related. I mean,
I played D&D.
Could be in a sense. He played D&D before.
Holy butts!
There's a +5 and a +7 in there.
Jeebus. Okay, so for you specifically, datapad would absolutely be something that you would recall. You have probably, how rich would you call your parents? You were pretty well off before you got disgraced, hey?
Yeah, and before they were turned into stones.
Unfortunate.
they left a decent amount of money to me, but it's not like it's kind of tied up in like their will, and it's kind of like in real estate and stuff. So it's not really my money.
I see. That's not relevant to this, but sure.
Was it a transformation, or was it like instant?
gradual?
Happened over time.
So you guys would probably all know this because you've all been creatures of this area. You would know that since the incursion, there has been kind of a massive surge in wild mutations that has gone around the place. Some of you would have been experiencing some good effects and some bad effects of that particular thing. But would that be known? Roll me a history check, you guys.
Everybody?
Yeah. You don't need to. You're already there.
I've only got plus 14.
Oh, only plus 14. Of course, you do.
I have -1 to my history check.
Oh,
I got a 15 as well, so.
I also got a 15 -1.
Okay, so we're at
14. I got a 5. Let's go.
Yeah.
FN 69, so function 69, and
you know it.
I think something's gone weird with Housett's character sheet because it says Barbarian 19, Wizard 5.
Yeah,
fantastic.
24.
We're not worthy.
I'm level 24, multi-class barbarian and wizard. What's wrong?
Let's try and reset that.
That's fun. So you guys would both know, and it's been kept really hush-hush, but given Function 69, you've been in the seedy underbelly and have heard a whole bunch of different rumors. You know, tongues are generally loose when they're being... Whistles are wet, I would say. So you get to hear...
Wetted, plenty of whistles, yeah.
Yeah. So you get to hear things that other people might not necessarily be privy to. Once upon a time, everyone used to be human. And then after the incursion, as the atmosphere was contaminated and there was this surge in mutations, sometimes aided by radiation, but other times it seems to have happened more spontaneous.
Or more like natural born around puberty, like a gene with an X was activated. Yep.
How long ago was the incursion?
So it would have been a few hundred years by now. So it's been at least multiple generations of time. So in if you compare that to the grand scheme of evolutionary biology, it's very rapid. But total molecular DNA change.
So it doesn't really make sense for me to have been a human in my lifetime.
No, I would still think that would be cool. So I'm gonna let it be because sometimes it happens more rapidly than others. But there's been a genetic shift kind of moving away from being generally...
Sorry, more rabbitly?
Yeah, rabbitly, absolutely.
Okay, yeah.
One of your ancestors
different kind of voles, other rodential creatures.
I think it was because we have an estate on the Springfield Lake.
Yeah, and that wouldn't... I'm surprised you don't currently have a third eye.
Yeah,
but
and...
going back a second to his previous history check where he's looking at data pads. A data pad is not something that you'd be wholly unaware of its purpose and function as a little bit more of a higher tech kind of thing. It's a little bit more rare. So you wouldn't necessarily have one yourself unless you need one for your professional function. But you would know that it would have a whole bunch of archive data, research record notes, diary entries, that kind of stuff. And if there's anything at this particular facility that is going to be worth bringing back, you're going to need to have it on a data pad because otherwise it's not going to happen. Paper doesn't You guys are aware that you are heading towards this X-research facility. You have been given a map or something close to, if any of you can read it. I'll leave that kind of up to you, whether in your character's kind of backstory, whether you would be able to read a map or have a compass. I did give you access to money, so,
I have programming.
Nice.
I'd like to think a ranger is probably fairly well versed in that.
Yeah, so I would probably think that as a ranger, you would have more sort of military-esque style training, where you would go out and you do the topographical mapping with the to this thing and the judging of the distance, and I don't know, he craps on and I kind of only half listen, but he did that kind of stuff. So I'd say you'd have his training, and be definitely able to read a map. This particular map has been given to you, and you know that it's significant because paper is like so rare. Yeah, you know the rough area. Which you go in.
I'll
Correct.
definitely take that map and basically assert dominance.
The only difficulty in it is that it describes a landscape prior to the Arctic wasteland that you are now encountering. So you have a bearing and you have the sun. You have very limited geographical markers to use as reference.
No worries, I got this. I mean, like, to be clear, like, my parents are the Irwins, right? Like, the
But the good
Irwins.
ones or the bad ones?
I have
the ones that you hear all about, you know.
The ones that
So,
are
I've
out of
never
time.
heard of them ever.
Then where you've been living under a rock.
Wait. Are they the ones that are allergic to stingrays?
It's too soon. Too soon.
But
Too soon.
like, it's in my DNA, guys. Like, I know where I'm going. I can read this.
Are you sure you're not related to the Coits? Aussie deep cut, yes.
But no, I got this. And DM, I would like to roll with confidence, but incompetently about what we're doing.
Yeah, absolutely. Go for it.
Like, so, reach down, taste the sand.
Snow. Why is there sand in the snow?
Like, ignore the radiation that's probably seeping from that. And I just stuck it in my mouth.
Non-breathable atmosphere.
Yeah. And I go,
You've got crackle teeth that are all like... you keep licking the environment that's just pure radiation. Like, helps you know what I'm doing.
His nose is just starting to rot. It's just...
I need a marker. Because I'm just gonna tally down the environmental. Yeah, I'm just gonna write. What's your character's name? Sparks. Sparks?
Yeah.
Sweet.
Sparks
All right.
Owen.
Sparks Owen.
Sparks Owen. All right, Sparks Owen. Gonna be a solid 1. Once he gets a 5, I'm gonna get you to roll on the mutations table again.
Suck it,
Sparks
bitches!
is
I made a
already,
medal.
like, not just pale, but pale blue. And completely hairless, apart from like white, silvery hair.
The worst part is that he glows in the dark when everyone's trying to sleep.
Yeah.
2 more mutations, it'll be called the Sparks table.
I will make an educated guess.
Yeah.
Survival roll.
Survival. Go for it.
Please tell me you have -1 to survive.
It's big fat 0. So is
Fuck.
my
Yes.
nature is -1.
You're a ranger?
I am.
No one said he was a good ranger.
I would say,
did.
like,
Interesting.
for the
I
60,
got this.
you've got a solid, I'm going to say 90% confidence that you know exactly where to go.
I forgot to say the Arctic waste is my favorite terrain,
Nice.
which I think actually
Gives you advantage.
did make a difference.
Right.
Are you rolling with advantage for favorite terrain? I need to find out where that is.
Pretty sure.
Huh.
When
Okay,
it's
I'll
not,
re-
when it's
I'll roll.
Playing right there.
I'll roll again and see if it comes any higher. It's not higher. Okay, so 16.
I'd say, yeah, 90% confidence. 90% confident.
I told you I got this.
It's very blizzardy outside, but, you know, it's clearing. It's clearing.
Well, if needed, I do have Liam's tiny hut in my spells, so we could be in a nice little hut if we wanted to be.
It would possibly be warmer in the hut. But, you know, it's safe for now, I guess. As long as it doesn't get punctured or anything.
So I guess we can head out in roughly the right direction.
Yeah,
Roughly.
absolutely.
In the middle of the blizzard. I mean, we haven't even... Hang on, wait. I, the ladle comes out, retracts. I put my finger out, a little thermometer pokes out, I put it in the food, and I'm like, yeah, no, it's ready. It's definitely very hot in the middle. You want to watch out for that, but the outside's cool enough to eat.
Aren't you
It's a
also a
microwave.
vet?
Aren't you also a vet?
No, see, See, usually when you could come across animals in the
The
wastelands,
bunny's cloaca unexpectedly, involuntarily tight.
Fuckers. No. I mean, I'm a bit of a healer, and we've advanced even after the incursion to a point where we don't need to take temperatures rectally anymore. I mean, come on, we're not barbarians. But I mean, if you really want, I have a vibrate function, and it's like the.
On the back of that, does anyone else want to introduce their character?
You see like this guy sitting down kind of on his own. He's got this big kind of green cloak on and surrounded by not like this cloud of waste debris, this floating crap, but more of almost like particles floating around in the air. And he sits there hanging his head low, sees what this robot has just put in this stew, and just casually looks up and says, "I don't know what you are or what you've done, but I will be having none of that, thanks." And he just lifts his hand up, and like a small sort of mushroom grows in his hands, and he just rips it off and just starts munching on a straight up mushroom.
It was one of those magic ones, right? And as for what I've done,
you just see him start looking up around space.
Hippie Joe confirmed. Yeah, I've done many things. I mean, haven't we all? I mean, the radiation that only affects me mildly compared to you fleshy ones.
Something has told you that you know what food tastes like and what's good and how to cook. Doesn't seem right. I'm Puff, by the way. But, and the rest of you are?
Well, I've been traveling a little bit and around outside and making a few solo trips out. But, look, I have to admit, this is a weird bunch. When I was in the monastery, they told me there was weird things going on. And I knew, obviously we know there's lots and lots of weird things going on. To actually spend time with you all are very weird and refreshing. The monastery is boring as it can be. Anyway, my name is Erdis. Most of my life in the monastery. I'm Dragonborn, just to clarify. I did not become Dragonborn suddenly, but there's a lot of dragons in my lineage. No rabbits. If you wake up to me nibbling your foot, it's force of habit.
Or force of rabbit.
A wit knows no bounds, mushroom boy.
Can Jez have inspiration?
I think he needs.
Look, I must say, I've had a bit of a sniffle lately, and my family has been known sometimes to sneeze lightning. So if you see me taking some deep breaths and moving to the side, leave me alone, and just keep clear in case. Well, let's just keep clear while that happens.
I was not warned by the guild that there'd be this much psychosocial hazards on this journey, and I think I'm going to be filing a report when I return. And perhaps my lawyers.
If you survive,
just it's completely disrespectful to my rights, and yeah, we'll see what comes of that.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Okay. So we all know who's going to die first, right?
And what about you, friend? You said your name was.
Yeah, we all look at the quiet one in the corner.
Yeah. Just while you hear Puff speaking, he's not looking directly at you, Sparks, but kind of just to the left over your shoulder and off into the distance.
Oh, you're talking to me?
Obviously.
I thought he had a lazy eye too.
Stop it!
What do you know? Everyone knows my family. Everyone knows that they're famous adventurers that would kill all the beasties, get all the treasures. So
right.
That sort of wisdom passes down. I know these lands more than any of you, I bet.
Oh, I don't know. I've traveled with my fair share.
More than any of you, I bet.
Well, I mean, that's very likely, but you're the only one wearing a red shirt. Things are what they are, and put yourself in this situation. Best of luck to your fame.
Yep. I mean, nepotism's all good and well, but
no.
Actions are better than words.
No, there's no nepotism here. I don't ride off the coattails of my parents.
You're
Just-
literally
just-
wearing
just
your
their
father's
money.
jacket. What's his name etched onto the collar?
But no, I'm out here making my own name.
Mhm.
Sparks Owen will far outlive my parents.
Yes, but you wouldn't be in the position you are in if not for your parents. So nepotism.
But kind of know that the mercenary life is not one that is like huge. Like, I guess there's sort of that badassery element that some people try to capitalize on, being like, I'm a mercenary out in the wild doing hard shit and surviving and whatever. And like doing the dirty business, but most of the time you kind of hear because you got no other choices. Like you haven't been found to be like smart enough to fulfill another societal role, or competent enough to fulfill like to be a scientist or to be a doctor. Be like,
Oh, let's
Okay.
be clear. I'm like the dropout kid.
Yeah.
Like, you've got the two very successful parents, and then the other one that's like, fuck this, I'm doing my own thing, but I will name drop the hell out of that family.
Yeah, and as a bard, okay, I just haven't gotten my break yet. Okay, it's coming, and the break is coming. I'm gonna make it big. Eventually, it's gonna happen.
Don't tell
Well,
me.
it's gonna
Don't
keep
tell
going.
me. It's heavy metal music, right? That's your style.
No, I mean it's usually whatever comes to me.
It's a fucking joke, man.
How's it's like?
Yeah,
Do you want one? And you sort of let you see Pup kind of move his fingers and hold out another mushroom. Oh, that's right. You can't fucking eat these things, can you? Smashes in the
well,
line.
I can. It just like, and I as he's before he was gonna put it in, it was like grind my metal mouth together in a facsimile of trying to eat.
What a waste.
Uh,
Listen, yeah.
Did you have any more of those? Fond of partaking in such delights at the monastery.
Oh, there's always
Very
more.
open.
You see Puff kind of reach behind him, sort of move his back of his pants for a second, reach around for a bit, then pull out another mushroom. Different color this time.
Ah, it's one of the
Special
brown
one.
shiitake mushrooms. Yeah, very earthy taste to them. It's delightful. Yeah.
Have you
No,
got
it's
any
a
of the,
delicacy. Very few will taste.
Yeah.
Thank you.
you
Appreciate
got any
it.
of the fun ones?
I only produce fun ones. That's all I got.
I mean, the really fun ones? I mean, I love a good brown. I love a good Swiss. I love a good shiitake and a little bit of lion's mane.
He just basically pulls some stuff out of his like snail trail. It happens to be a tiny little mushroom. It's like, there you go. Straight from the lion's mane.
How generous of you. I feel like they don't understand the rarity of such things and how lucky they are.
Mate, that's so true. Listen,
look.
are we on the clock here, or is there some shit we got to get done before, you know, you're
Absolutely.
fucking
On
dying?
I
that
agree.
wonderful note, let's plow right on. Oh my
Oh.
gosh, the storm outside, it seems to be dissipating. What
What's magic?
timing!
I was going to bicker for the next
wonderful,
hour.
Ranger Sparks, would you like to get your temperature reader, given that you are a ranger, you would have one, take a bit of a reading of the outside for the conditions.
It's cold. Oh god! Oh god!
Two.
Maddie, DM, can I look over his shoulder?
Not masked. Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay,
uh,
so you would know, you're sticking your head outside without your respirator on. You're sort of like, as like this carbon dioxide, very low oxygen content air floods into your lungs. You've got this taste of like sulfur, this gritty kind of ash. It's a little bit salty as well, but you get to, know the breeze direction. You can tell that it's fucking cold. It's about minus 20 degrees Celsius outside. It's really cold, but you seem to note that it's going back to your moderately gloomy kind of weather as the storm is passing by you. It is lovely and overcast, grey as far as the eye can see.
Oh, look.
It's as good as it's going to get out.
Next time you need to lick a finger, Erwin. Like, why don't you try this one? And I hold up my metal finger that is currently very cold. I hold my finger out, and his tongue stick to my metal finger.
But does he stick his tongue to your finger, and are you outside the tent?
I mean, I don't need to breathe, so I.
Okay, so you sort of like go outside the dome. Do you, Sparks, stick your tongue against this robot's finger and give it a go?
No, I'm not stupid. I am a nature enthusiast. I know what happens when you stick your tongue onto something cold.
Okay.
It definitely wiggling
But I
his
just
finger
want-
in front of his face.
Alright, you find that your finger waggle has been rejected,
It's the first time for everything.
and you can pack up the dome and get moving.
It's as good as it's going to get out there.
Well,
And I
Well,
point
let me
in the
just-
distance and like vaguely like,
Kind of degree somewhere.
would that be at the end of a long rest so I can reevaluate my spells and stuff because I wasn't
Yeah.
sure what the mission was? Yeah, excellent.
Yep.
I will go and change some of my spells.
Puff, as we all start to move out, after a few minutes or so, you find that he's not there. And Puffer's just gone completely off on a tangent, just looking at his fingers and just completely lost as you turn around. He's
Oh.
just
I own his own stash.
Did we just see Puff's respirator on the ground? Well, it was nice knowing him.
Tim, every time that Sparks looks at the map or checks outside with his survival skill, I'm just gonna nonchalant just kind of walk past and look over his shoulder. I'm actually very good at survival and map reading and knowing landscape, and so he's like super famous. He's the guy, but I'm just gonna double check everything he does. And just like, oh yeah, weren't you pointing over that way a little bit more when we need to? Totally.
Yeah, absolutely. So would you like to roll a nature check?
Cool. Survival check.
Oh, survival. Yeah, sorry.
19.
Yeah, okay. So you definitely narrowed down that confidence interval a little bit. And given that you are also very good at survival and you're looking around the ground, plotting for landmarks against this map, you would also notice there's this trail of footprints in like the snow and ice as well, leading in the direction that like Puff kind of went.
As Sparks is kind of walking near the footprints, I'll grab him and be like, well spotted. You've found these footprints. You should definitely follow those.
like a master of my craft.
How far do we need to go do the mission?
You know where things are.
I mean, I have capabilities. I mean, I've got a radar sense, and once we get closer to where we need to be, I can hone in on our thing that we're after, so that we can complete the mission, get paid, and I've got a gig in like 2 days, and I don't want to be out here for that entire time. I don't want to miss the gig because they're really hard to book, especially in this economy, there is no economy.
I touched the top of your head, which I'm guessing is like a little bit like a bender.
No,
Sorry.
actually, you see that there is super glued to his head this like a pompadour, like this anime pompadour with red flaming hair, like on his head.
So I touched that and cast the light cantrip, basically turn you into a walking lighthouse. Be like, out you go. Everyone follow the light. Follow the beacon. Don't stray from the light.
That would be very useful on the stage. I mean, maybe after this you could join me for the gig if any of you know how to use the musical instruments. So locate objects only worked within 1 mile, and we've only just set out, haven't we?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So, and we know roughly the
Locate object, you need to have specifically encountered like a similar object to be able to.
data pad. I mean, would there have been some high-end clients who may have purloined some things from their places of employment who may have showed them off to me because, not everyone can vibrate.
Roll a retrospective seduction check.
So just a straight charisma check?
Yeah.
Alright.
It'll be back in the day. Did it happen?
14.
14? I don't know. Maybe you just weren't that good, man.
I check.
I knew I should have gotten that meat tongue implant at some point.
Hey, that's great.
I slap FN on the back and be like, that way. Forward, ho.
Just nudge his hand like,
Yeah. Love it. Alright, okay, guess I'm taking the lead. I mean, I have a feeling I've been a leader at one point, and I keep looking.
So, I guess the distance that you're looking to travel isn't like a hugely long kind of stretch. However, given the conditions, it does take you a little bit longer because you are trudging through snow. It gets slippery as you encounter some sheets of ice. and you don't have like all-terrain shoes all of the time.
Should have been snowshoes.
You do find that there is like this smattering of debris and stuff as you go. You get deep. You might be able to make your lives a little bit easier. You might be able to fashion together something, but that's totally up to you. You can continue to plow ahead. Hands up.
Being a ranger whose favorite terrain is the Arctic.
Yeah.
Are we basically ignoring any sort of difficult terrain?
Yeah, but that doesn't stop anyone else.
Doesn't slow the group's travel.
Doesn't
Difficult. Yeah,
the entire group.
See, rangers are useful
I know.
in specific circumstances.
Well then, in that case, surprisingly against all odds, this man, this creature, seems to be in precisely all of the right spots, and you don't encounter any difficulty, and you make the most amazing time of your entire lives. You have so little time out on the snow and ice, traveling from A to B, as you have in. It's just amazing.
I told
I'm
you
just
guys.
imagining-
I fucking got this.
Basically, like, you know,
I'm just imagining that Erwin just pulls out a bunch of tennis rackets and is like, tie these to your shoes. And
pulls out like a pocket snow dog and lashes you all together. Onward, Fido!
Like, confidently stupid, but also, yeah, you pick up some skills.
Strangely competent.
yeah, if you're around it enough, you have to.
In that case, it is not soon before long you approach the exterior of an unassuming rectangular concrete prism. It stands curiously devoid of ice and snow in a 30-foot radius around the structure. You can see that there are these wind turbines that in perpetual motion as the wind rips around you. So it's still, there's a gale of wind, but there's not ripping up the snow. But you can see that there are black reflective panels on the rooftop. And there just appears to be one entry of glinting, maybe it's glass, into this place, but it's still at a bit of a distance.
I'd like to walk the perimeter.
Okay.
Alone, if I may. Yeah, just stay here.
Oh, he needs to do the human thing and evacuate themselves, I assume.
No, I'm gonna have a look.
He feels shame for the evacuation.
I mean, it's okay. I understand that you fleshlings shrink when it's cold.
I'm gonna have a stealthy look. Shh.
Good work.
I think that is the measurement you'd be using, correct?
What? It's okay. I've heard the phrase "grower, not a shower."
True magic. True magic.
Erdus, describe to me this thing. I'm going to try and see if this spell will work to try and help us get the to the thing faster. Like, describe it in enough detail so that hopefully, or if the rabbit, whose name I have forgotten because my memory is a sieve.
How's it?
How's it going? Yeah. Could you just describe this thing to me, because I have a spell that, if I know enough about it, I can find where it is so that we can get it done, and all of that fun stuff.
Well, I think it's like so big or something like that, and it's like got a touch screen. I think on the back it has some kind of fruit on it.
Is it a banana with like a bite out of it?
It's like a pear or something. I don't know. We don't have pear anymore. We've just got gruel.
I'm eating the patented green
ancient pictures of fruit, and I think this is it. But anyway, it's a touchscreen. It always seems to be low on battery, I've heard, and I've just seen many images of it in all the texts and stuff I've gone through of people watching live performances, filming the event on this device instead of actually just perceiving it themselves.
Yeah, but why would you watch an event happening, or when you could be doing it instead?
I don't know. I think they just get carried away by the fact that it has a camera, and they think they're going to watch it later. I don't understand.
The camera is like so you can watch it later, but is it for like short periods of time or long periods of time?
I couldn't tell you. These people from the past are just so primitive. I don't know what they were doing.
bet they recorded fireworks. That's what I reckon.
Oh yes, yes. When they used to burn
Fireworks?
in the sky. Yes.
I mean, I could see a market for like short form contents, continuous. You could do different things. You could do little skits. You could do dances. You could put it all on one of these data pads, and you could watch many people do it.
Pretty sure what would happen is a bunch of those druids would get themselves into a hot spring and try and, take this content from them in the hot spring, showing off their foliage. That's what would happen. You give these druids an inch and they take a mile.
Well, there goes all the live performances, and then people are just stuck at home by themselves watching their data pads.
Probably where the low-hanging fruit went extinct.
Instead of like playing games,
I think they intermittently will like change activities what they're doing on these data pads. They seem quite versatile. But anyway,
I don't think anyone kills their combatants hand-to-hand combat these days. It's absolutely marvelous at the monastery to have a couple of people get in a ring, beat each other bloody, right? And just do that for an evening, and then have a bunch of people whose lives and livelihood have been ruined. It was delightful.
Yes, but you could then like use the data pad with this camera, and like record that and send it to others, and then I mean, even with games and stuff, you could
Why on earth would you want to record yourself playing a game and send that to someone else?
Well, you don't
rather
have to
than play the game yourself.
Like taking photos of your food. Yeah.
That's just stupid.
Have you been for your walk to relieve yourself yet?
No, I haven't.
Must be
So
busted.
engrossed.
I will roll that now. I've done the loop already. I've come back. That's a 21.
Feeling fresh?
You've got a little bit of extra frost in a couple of spots down your trouser legs there, it seems.
So I'll say it's a 21 for like the stealth check
Yeah,
to do it stealthily, and then the
Your
investigation.
21 stealth. Sorry, what did you say for investigation?
22.
Oh, nice!
With a natural 20.
The way is these guys are crafting on about low-hanging fruit and druids in a hot tub. And shimmy on around to relieve yourself. But as you're investigating the perfect kind of spot, you're looking at this concrete structure, and the paint on the building has been chipped away as the winds have blown debris past it. You can see that there are curious gashes in the concrete itself, but not too many, and they are sort of closer to, there's a little like vent up high in this prism structure that's grated, almost as if something was possibly trying to get in, didn't manage to do so. And that's kind of the only curious thing you see on the outside. Otherwise, it does just look like there's one way in. Yes, Dan?
Have I, with our discussion about data pads and watching and blah, 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 all that stuff, have I gained enough knowledge to be able to cast the spell Locate Object?
I'd say so. So I just looked up the rules for this spell. So it says, alternatively, the spell can locate the nearest object of a particular kind. I'd say that would work, like, specifically. And I'll kind of, I'll let rules like that work. You would say that the nearest object of this particular kind would be inside this building by, let's say this 50 feet by 20. It's quite small.
Okay.
Directly inside by maybe 12 feet or something.
Okay, and side note, does the data pad contain a video of druids in a hot tub?
You will have to investigate that upon
Okay.
big object.
How high up is that vent?
So I'd say about 15 feet up.
And is the vent big enough for, like a dragonborn to get through, or?
I'd say it's not unless you're like particularly skinny.
Yeah, I'm not.
Is
I'm
it
not,
big enough for a rabbit to get in?
A4 piece of paper.
Can I mage hand see if I can like pull at it?
You can definitely try if he tells you that it's there. Currently, you do not know that it's there.
There's an ingress.
Yes, there's a door right there. We can see that.
So can I?
I just saw the hole.
A perception or an investigate around the front door?
Is there not a doorbell?
I'll do a perception check around the front door.
I can do investigation, and I think it comes with a perk. No, maybe not. No perk.
They're all at 12.
Yes, stats. Do you want to roll it?
For what?
It's a perception or investigation. Would you like to roll? You got an 8.
Me?
Yeah,
Me?
you.
Oh, sure.
So we're looking at the front door, dude.
The front door.
Oh, that's alright. Your rolls aren't coming through the magic marks. So just let me know. So how's it go? A 24? Did anyone get like?
I rolled a 12. It wasn't very good.
Yeah.
With my perception.
What'd you
How's
get?
it look like he's perceiving things well? So I will let him.
Alright. So you mentioned specifically, what does this thing have, like a doorbell or something? And it absolutely does. So you will see that beside what looks like some sliding, not glass, but like a plexiglass. So it's like safety plastic, quite thick. It's probably about 3 inches thick. That there is a rectangular, like electronic structure on the front. It has a series of digit numbers. There's a little like screen that seems to be black, and also this section completely caked with like this blackish kind of soot that looked like it had like a mesh over the top of it, like a dome.
Can I mage hand push some buttons?
Absolutely. Are there any particular buttons that you want to like press?
Is it just a number pad, or there's some like?
We did roll a 24. So if you're going to ask, are there specific buttons that look like they have been pressed a little bit more than other buttons? I'd absolutely say yes. The numbers on them have been ever so slightly worn away. If you hadn't rolled so hard, you wouldn't have noticed.
Cool. I will push them.
All right. Followed by the hash. As you do, you can hear this and then like a as this door slides open. It seems to open up into this little like airlock foyer, so it's a few feet by a few feet, and it remains open currently, with the other door staying closed in front of it, like at the other side, before it opens into the next room.
Is there another keypad?
There's another button, yeah.
Without going into that threshold or passing that threshold, the first one, I'm going to see if I can push those ones.
Alright, so you press that, and then the sliding door that was open closes. You can see that inside this airlock there is this like a countdown before there's another and the whole room seems to be sprayed with this like a mist. You don't know if it has an odor, it doesn't have any particular colour to it, it's just sort of like a whitish mist before it clears, and then the other door opens.
Who wants to go into the mystery cage of wonder?
I'll do it.
Well,
The Irwin will do it, obviously.
that seems like the only logical option, and we
Yeah.
have it before us. I mean,
Natural born leader.
Natural, definitely born.
yep, there's one born every second, they say.
Oh, should we all just get in and, you know,
Well, off you go, Earl, and we'll follow you.
experience the same?
If you hear scream, don't come.
Wait a minute, wait. I have a thing that might work, and I'm going to use one of my mutations to create that major image.
Okay.
The major image is how I picture Irwin, which is pretty much exactly the same, just dumber looking.
Yo.
It just keeps repeating to itself very loudly, I'm an Irwin, and it's going to walk in.
Okay. Through the glass? Or is it going to wait and do the process?
It's going to do the process.
So,
I just see Erwin walking up to the door, going, "I'm an Erwin, I'm an Erwin." And opens it, so then all right.
Right. I've got
To tell the truth, that tracks well with the background. Because name dropping your name should get you into places.
Oh god, I've reinforced his fucking mental state. Oh god.
I'll read it out. I'll read it out because it's brilliant. A celebrity adventurer's scion, your family name strikes fear and admiration into common folk. That's got nothing to do with you. Songs and stories celebrating the adventuring exploits of your famous parents are widely known. Kids across the land grew up wishing they were you, but being the child of a famous adventurer wasn't all hugs and kisses. You seldom saw your parents, and it was all about them and their tales and their loot and all their glory.
Nepo baby.
Fun background.
Hashtag.
so in terms of this image, you just can't see through the image or anything. So,
Yeah, yeah, anyone who views the image, they see it as 100% real.
Cool. So you see this image walk in, go through this process, get sprayed by this mist, and then continue on into the inside, and then stands in the beyond. Those second set of windows, like the door is a little bit tinted or reflective, so you don't see as well into the inside. But as it's like open, closed, you can see that beyond would be something that looks like a horseshoe kind of desk with like a monitor on top of it. Some fairly well healthy looking plants from what you can see. Quite curious given that this place has been abandoned for ages. You wouldn't have thought. Oh.
It's a vault. It's a vault.
Looks exceptionally clean for the most part on the inside. Roll me a perception check.
Perception. Please roll better than last time.
Nope.
So is it your illusion that's doing this and they're able to report back? Or?
They don't. So it's like whatever you can see when the door is moving is what you get.
I don't see shit with that knife.
How's it's just like, all right, looks pretty safe in there. Owen got through okay. Hey, Owen, you want to hide Owen?
Confidently, we'll storm ahead.
Oh god.
Fluorescent, like the fluorescent lighting on the inside is definitely still functioning, still on. One of the light bulbs has like a bit of a flicker to it, but probably nothing.
Before you head in, I don't normally go out on a limb, but you all are very fleshy, and we don't know what is being sprayed, and most of the things that can be sprayed, they will decimate the fleshy ones. I can go in and test it. I'm just saying, like, if Erwin wants to go in himself, he can follow his simile that I sent in. More than happy for that.
Oh, that's what that was. Oh, right. I knew that.
All right.
I turned to Erdis and was like, is he supposed to be smart?
Oh,
No, that makes total sense. Send the robot.
Robert.
Not a robot. I'm a bard bot. Please refer to me by my race.
Shall we call you Duke?
I've been known as a duke. I'm pretty sure. I mean,
Update your hearing, sir.
Are you going?
no. What? Sorry, I just imagined.
Like I heard you volunteer.
Oh god. All right, I'll walk towards the door.
Mhm.
I'll take a swig of my robo fluid, wipe my lipless mouth. All right. We sure? I mean, no.
Yeah.
Your occipital lenses fog up momentarily as this mist comes down and sprays.
Little.
What kind of senses do you have?
I have all of the normal senses, one of which is toned up a little bit more than the others. That'll be up to the audience's imagination, which one of those it is.
Yeah.
Nobody.
Cool. So, have you had any experience with decontamination before?
I mean, the lab where I escaped from would have had somewhat.
Yes! Thank you for reminding me. You have this very vivid and intense flashback of being in this decontamination pod, and you see this woman lying on the ground, her glassy eyes staring at the ceiling. She has electrodes attached to her head, and you feel this intense feeling of sadness. Before that flashback kind of goes away, the door in front of you opens, and you are free to enter the room beyond.
I just whispered to myself as I realized that my hand's outstretched in trying to reach for the person. Mother! And then shake.
Yeah, I absorb that. Sorry, absorb it. I interrupt it with, "Is it fine?"
Can you hear us through that?
That's a really good question. Probably not. No.
I bang on it.
I've got a mutation,
Yeah, you do.
I believe, that I can telepathically be like, Bard Bot, do you live? Is it good for fleshy folk?
Do I know that that's him?
Are you... So you can communicate with, like, thoughts and emotions. So I would assume that if you communicate thinking that you're talking in your own voice, that you would sound like you.
As I walk forward, I reach into my fake hair and I pull out a bit of copper wire. I hold it up and I turn back and I point at... How's it? It burns! Please, save yourselves! Totally fucking fine.
I'm gonna...
You can reply to this message.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you can attempt to read his mind. Do you consent or protest?
What to him pushing into my brain hole?
Yes.
Oh, yes, let's just make a wisdom save.
I've never had anyone talking to my brain hole before. I didn't know I had a brain hole. I thought I was just circuits and stuff. So,
Alright, wisdom save then.
okay, wisdom. Here we go. Boom. It's an 8.
Yeah, no, you fail. He intrudes into your brain and is now privy to your thoughts and your true motivation.
All he hears is on repeat is the "I Go Meow" cat song by Carla and Kifness, and followed by flashes of clear blue sky, a band, something beginning with the letter M, band, waking up in a factory, and what's that all about? And then some very hard R-rated things that I won't repeat on stream. Except the only thing he remembers is the sound of brrrr.
Oh, I wish I did.
Can't go doubt your mind.
But in terms of the intent that he specifically had with the mist and stuff, it is fine. Apart, he feels really sad about it. It's a very
It was a sad misty.
this lust with this very deep, mournful, grieving sadness. It's very juxtaposed.
Some of us fill a hole how we need.
Yeah. Knew I shouldn't have done that. I would have rather just taken gas.
Also, it's FN69, not Bardbot. Bardbot is my race, I think.
Alright,
FN or 69, one of them. Who's in next for the flesh dissolving bacteria?
Three of you could go in at once. If
It's
you
all,
wanted to.
it's all go in. It's safe and really
Absolute.
sad in there. and like explicit. There's a lot of things in here. Buckle up.
I just imagine this little bunny with like bright red cheeks right now.
Sparks leads the charge. You lot coming or what?
Ah, absolutely. Let's trot on.
Marvelous. So you guys,
Marvelous.
again, you are doused in mist. Your eyes sting a little bit as it feels just a tad alcohol-y. And then the interior door opens and you are free to join FN69. The room opens up into what would be like, probably, I'd liken to like a wealthy dentist's kind of reception area. It's very surgical, very clean. No carpet, bright fluorescent lighting. This place has been like hermetically sealed. So there's like no dust has entered this place apart from the stuff that you have just brought in. The bright green of the plants you would notice, Ranger, probably without even having to roll this. Oh, they're so fake. Very plastic. Still very beautiful. I'll get you guys to roll me a perception check.
Perception.
Arr.
Persuasion. There we go.
How many people are doing perception?
I don't know, whoever wants to.
This not having like plus 12 to perception is
17 for me.
15.
I thought there was going to be more kinky stuff in here.
No kinky stuff. Like the walls are very kind of bare. There's some like abstract art with some
I mean,
but like overlap.
depends on your kink.
There's like
Trying.
a little coffee table with some chairs and these wooden puzzles on it that seem to fit together in a very unusual and almost inconceivable kind of fashion.
Oh, yeah.
He goes to my dentist's office.
National Geographic from 2008.
Oh yeah, that one too. Yeah, absolutely.
Those are the best ones.
Is there a wire thing with little beads that you get to send around?
Not that. No, it's not designed.
No.
for
Is it like caricatures of like humanified like teeth and stuff with the eyes and stuff and arms, little arms?
No, none of that. You
Okay.
do see this little alcove with these metal, like double metal doors with like a panel above it and a series of circles. From this distance, what was the highest roll I got? 17. You can see they've got numbers atop them. Behind the receptionist's desk, if you're walking around, you'll see that the computer currently is not on, but there is a light on the monitor, so power is still flooding through these circuits' veins. That was a mixed metaphor, to be sure. And there's a scrap of paper on the desk.
What direction is the locate object spell telling me?
The desk! The desk!
I'll head over to the desk.
Marvelous.
This looks like the data pad thing.
Yeah,
and
it's a desktop computer.
I will take the monitor because it sounds like what they were describing. This is where the data is stored. This is what we're after. And I'll hold it above my head.
And the PC towers is like.
That film? What is it?
Cords are connected and things topple over.
Doesn't look quite.
Zoolander, where they throw the screen down.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
In the computer.
Spark sees this piece of paper just sort of like blow off and flutter to the floor.
I was going to ask about the paper.
Yeah, you can just go pick it up. So it says, I caught hemorrhagic fever.
Oh.
What is it? No good?
I caught hemorrhagic fever.
Is that like the things that...
That's four words you don't want to see in like a sentence together.
Yeah, the hemorrhagic, if I remember correctly from my medical download, that's what some of the fleshy ones can get from sitting down for too often.
No, that's when you bleed out your anus.
Basically the same thing.
You need like a special cushion with like a donut ring, right?
Is there any evidence of...
Currently, there doesn't appear to be any evidence here, but you could do a little bit of a survival check to see what you can glean from any...
Absolutely. Survival is my strong suit.
Can I do a check on the data pad?
Yeah, you can
See
absolutely do an intelligence check on the
If
data
it
pad.
looks about right. Should I do
You can
investigation?
do investigation. How's it go to 26? How's it look to function 69 manhandling this techno box and it's just like, this is not the way. This is not correct.
I'm just trying to put like a little bit of my finger just flips off and there's like a USB, but I'm trying to put it in the wrong way, and I flip it over and it's still the wrong way, and I flip it back over and it's still the wrong way, and I'm like, what the fuck?
Wrong hole.
Sad thing is, it's USB-C and he's still suffering.
But I rolled a 4 on my survival check.
You died of dysentery on the trail, sir.
Confidently incorrect.
So he was just looking at like evidence of people's passing in this particular area with his survival check. Given that this place has been medically sealed, not a huge amount of traffic, and he got a 4. It's a bit tricky. You rolled an investigation check on the tech. What was the question you asked?
I just wanted to see if that was the data pad that we're after.
I mean,
or
like,
if
it's
a.
a data pad.
It doesn't look very pad-like.
It's a data. Maybe you got some mixed messages or misunderstood what I said.
It's bigger than I thought it would be. I thought I remember seeing images of people at, like I said, at concerts, live performances.
How's it? I have a very important question.
Same data, though. You would know.
No, I have a very important question.
No, but perhaps you are mechanical in nature. Perhaps if you were to consume the hardware here, you might be able to gain its knowledge.
Well, I've been trying, but my port doesn't fit. My stick, and I like, show him the USB port. It doesn't fit in this thing, and I'm trying to. I don't really consume things as I can try, and I start to put the computer screen into my mouth hole. All right,
Yeah.
Crunch.
Content, God. Don't let it get on it.
Okay.
Crunch. Crunch. Crunch.
Avoid the glass bit because I think we still need that bit. You can eat the
I
plastic.
don't think it's glass. It doesn't taste like glass. It's more like a thin plastic layer.
Wafer thin?
Wafer thin. It's
What about
like-
this big box bit that's connected to this thing? What if
You
we
never talk to a lady about her box.
No, okay, we'll Just stop. Just stop. Now,
I slope the cables like spaghetti, which is weird because I don't have lips.
I'm gonna push some buttons on the brain
Yep.
of the computer.
So you can see that there's some lights that light up. There's a fan that starts whirring. There's
And then
sound.
the sound of dial-up.
Dun, 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 dun.
What's left of the screen kind of turns a bit blue. There's like this 4 colored boxes in the middle with some garbled words around it. And you can see what was probably, I don't know, you squint at the screen, maybe a dog, a person? I don't know now.
It's a small paper clip with sitting on some notes. When Howard turns it on, is there like an unexpected upload or something?
No.
Okay.
Does a Zoom icon pop up and say updating?
Oh, does the Microsoft Teams window pop up and when you go to close it, it opens it anyway?
Fails to update. It's not connected to the internet. Yeah, they want you to check.
Well, how
check
about we? Wait, that serious?
No.
Okay. So I'll like tug at the monitor a little bit and pull the cables out of his face.
Yeah, you also notice that there's this like weird rectangle thing on the surface of the table that has a whole bunch of letters and numbers and some other word buttons. There's this black hand-sized.
I think this is like
Look-
the number pad to the door. So
I think. Well, no, that's clearly the appetizer for the meal that is the data pad. So I should have started with that, and not gone straight for the main course.
maybe we'll just see what we can work out here before we irrevocably, turn it into machine shit.
Machines don't shit. So we don't have
Oh.
that function.
Oh, okay. What happens to it then?
Look down at my stomach, and a little trapdoor opens, and just all the bits and pieces just out of it.
Oh, okay. Well,
Essentially a walking disposal unit.
there's a picture on the desktop. It's a desktop like wallpaper, isn't it? Alright, I'll turn the monitor the right way up and pop it on the table and
Yeah, you can see that there is like one program effectively on the desktop screen. Work computer. These particular people were very stringent about what it was that was able to be operated on their work computer.
Does it feature the rolling green hills?
No, it's like it's a chewed up mess of a lady and a dog.
What if and I'll just touch the icon with my machine hands. I'll keep tapping it, and when it doesn't work,
wait, what's this thing?
You see, like, you're blinded by this laser.
that looks like it.
Your eyes.
It might have been like a cleaning machine or something. Maybe it could take someone's heartbeats and sort of thing and monitor it.
Oh, wait. No, when you move it, this arrow thing moves. See the
I
arrow
don't
move?
trust it. I don't trust it. I mean, it seems like it could take all of your information and sell it to someone.
I got this, guys. And put both hands on the mouse. And very
I don't like this.
Really?
It's weird. It shouldn't move. There's no wire there. Why is it moving when you?
moving it really slowly, but then can't get it quite close enough to the icon without slipping off of it.
But what happened? What do you do when you get to the icon? What do you do? This is
You roll an intelligence check.
this is sorcery beyond me.
It seems pretty logical given that it seems to be like an archaic form of technology that you have at like your network city. So
cool.
like it's old and it's just like it's geriatric old.
What's the stuff they say? They say the the double click, the thingy.
Oh, yes.
Double click.
Right.
Yeah, you double tap the
Yeah.
radiation zombies and you double click the mouse. That's
Yeah,
old age
was it?
thing,
Yeah, it was
right?
zombies that you double tap.
And
double
then
tap the zombies, double click the mouse.
And then you teabag them, right?
Yeah,
Did you kill
absolutely, with a good Earl Grey.
Okay. Yeah. Did it.
So a lot of the screen has been like obfuscated now that it has been quite severely munched, and the navigation panel that you would normally kind of be able to see in this software is incomprehensible. But the one entry that you can see is titled Retrieval Orders. Priority 1, live subject. Priority 2, if unable to obtain live subject, extraction of blood from live subject. Blood cannot be extracted from deceased subject. Rapid decay ensues. Men expendable.
I mean, I've often found that men can be expendable. I mean, they're pretty much one and done, at least for like 30 minutes. And
Yeah.
No, that's blood that's being extracted.
oh, just blood.
Just blood.
Okay, right then. Yeah.
That's what the
I mean-
hemorrhageness is. Hemorrhagic.
Can I, as the only, as far as I'm aware, healer in the group, can I try to understand what hemorrhaging is when it comes to the fleshy ones? Because
Yeah, absolutely. Go for it. Roll me a medicine check.
Medicine. That's a natural 20. Woo! I'm like the best at medicine. Have you ever seen anyone as good at medicine as I am?
To hemorrhaging, or we'll go with the verb hemorrhaging, it would be bleeding uncontrollably with the inability to clot out of all of your available orifices. Anywhere that could bleed will. That could be ears, that could be eyes, that could be nose, that could be mouth, that could be under
Could
your...
be anus. Like I said before.
At the penis.
Take it.
Okay.
Anus.
Oh, anus. Yeah, no, definitely anus, possibly penis, all of the places.
Right.
When you combine that with fever, the logical conclusion that you come to is that it is some kind of viral and very virulent pathogen, which results in this hemorrhaging.
I look at. I take a swig of my robo oil. Look at my fleshy compatriots, knowing that I won't be affected. Oh, it doesn't seem too bad.
Nice. I'll just kind of carry on your locate objects spell, because that goes for a little while, doesn't it?
Yeah.
We've been a little bit... You would know that there would be more kind of light-ups of that spell directly below you.
Okay.